Welcome. My name is Lesline McEwan, and I'm a registered psychotherapist. Welcome back to my channel. And if it's your first time here, welcome. Today we're going to be speaking about a very difficult emotion. So let's get right into it. And the emotion we're talking about today is shame. We have to remember that shame, just like sadness, anger, joy, fear, and other emotions, it's a feeling that many people have experienced. However, shame is that heavy feeling that tells one that something is wrong, not just with something they did, but with who they are. Shame can be a difficult emotion to navigate, but understanding it is the first step toward freeing oneself. By recognizing that it's an emotion like any other emotion, we can begin to separate our actions from our sense of self worth. Let's clarify a common confusion. Guilt is about your behavior. It says, I did something bad. You feel remorse and regret for an action you took. You can apologize, you can make amends, and move on. Guilt is helpful. It guides us to do better. Shame, on the other hand, is about your identity. It says, I'm bad. It's an internal condemnation of your very self. Shame tells you that you're fundamentally flawed, unworthy, and unlovable. There's no action to fix it because, in the eyes of shame, you are the problem. Think about the messages you received growing up. Was it okay to cry? Was it okay to fail? Was it okay to be yourself? These are early experiences that lay the foundation for a lifetime of shame. But it doesn't always start there. Sometimes some of the most powerful lessons in shame are learned at a much later time in life. Take, for an example, the story of, let's call him X. As an adult, X started his own small business. He poured everything into it: time, money, passion. When the business failed, he was devastated. Instead of seeing it as a valuable learning experience, he felt an overwhelming sense of shame. Personal failure. He started to avoid friends and family. He was convinced that they saw him as a loser. He was ashamed, not just of the failed business, but of himself. This new adult sized shame was different from what he felt as a kid. It was self inflicted, a new wound on top of old ones. It's a powerful reminder that our past actions as adults can create fresh sources of shame that we carry with us, but we can leave them behind. So, what does a life shaped by shame actually look like? Often it wears a mask. One of the most common is perfectionism. Now, I'm not saying perfectionism is caused by shame. I'm saying people will have perfectionistic behaviors because of shame. If you believe you're fundamentally flawed, you will try to build a perfect persona to protect yourself. You set impossible standards, terrified that any mistake will expose your deepest insecurities. Now, there are other masks. Shame encourages avoidance and isolation. When you feel unworthy, your first instinct is to hide. You might cancel plans, avoid new experiences, or pull away from loved ones. The more you isolate yourself, the more the shame takes a hold. And sometimes shame will twist itself into anger and blame, which is a powerful defense mechanism. Instead of facing the painful feeling of being flawed An individual could lash out at others and point fingers to deflect their own discomfort. The good news is that we do not have to live with the weight of shame forever. The path to healing is about a few key things. First, you have to name it. Acknowledge what you're feeling is shame and separate the feeling from who you are. Say to yourself, this is a feeling of shame, not a fact about me. Next, you have to speak it. Shame thrives and grows in silence and secrecy. The moment you share it with a trusted person, a friend, a therapist, or a family member, it takes away the power and it begins to get smaller. When someone hears you and responds with empathy and understanding, you realize that the flaw shame told you was so big isn't as bad as you thought it was. Finally, and most importantly, you have to practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. Recognize that you're a human being and all human beings are imperfect. Your worth is not determined by your performance, your mistakes, or the critical voices in your head. Now it's your turn. Start small. The next time that shame shows up, just notice it. Is it when you make a mistake at work? Is it when you get a critical comment from a friend? Instead of hiding, pause. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself that you're worthy of love and belonging exactly as you are. Your imperfection does not make you flawed. They make you human. Shame is not a part of who you are. It's a feeling that can be understood, processed, and released. The journey from shame to self-acceptance is a long one, but every step you take is worth it. It brings you closer to living a more authentic, joyful, and life of freedom. Thank you for joining me today. Please like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss my next video. Thank you. Disclaimer. Please note that the information discussed in this video is for general information and educational purposes only and should not be considered a substitute for the advice of a mental health professional or as a diagnosis or treatment. If you feel that you may need psychological or medical advice, please consult a qualified healthcare professional. Thank you.